Welcome to another edition of the Josh Host Show. I'm your host, Maya Woods, and with me is the head coach of the Massillon Tigers, Coach Hose. We want to thank our season-long sponsor, Reliable Heating and Cooling. Coach, welcome to the show.
Glad to be here.
So, Coach, your Tigers are riding a 6-game winning streak and now have a 9-4 record. After picking up 2 more wins this past week, first up, your team won on the road at Worcester last Tuesday, 76-69. Can you recap that win for us?
Yeah, big win at Worcester. They were 7-0 going into it. Last year we beat them. They were 11-0 at our place. So we knew they would be kind of motivated with us knocking them off last year. And they're playing really well, and they score the ball a lot. And with us losing Jaden, we're still figuring out rotations and different things. And when Ballard left, we lost our leading scorer, leading rebounder, leading assists, leading steals. So we had a lot of the roles that we were going to see how it kind of figured out and how everything changed. And our guys stepped in and had a huge weekend, beating Boardman and beating Central, and then going on the road and beating Worcester up there was huge. And I can't say enough about how these guys played. It's just Vari Morris, a senior, stepped up, had 21 points. Luke Sabo had 20 points. Grant played a great game. I can't remember it offhand. I think he had 9. And it was just fun to see. We've had a lot of guys contributing, and we've had a lot of balance the last couple of games. Just seeing more guys scoring and touching the ball, and we relied on Jaden to do a lot for us, which was good and bad at times. But now we're like we're creating a lot for each other off of our own abilities. And that's been fun to watch to see how the guys have developed. But definitely a huge win for us going into tournament time against a quality opponent that was ranked in the state. And Northeast Ohio, now for sure they were ranked. I don't know what they were ranked in the state, but definitely gave us a lot of boost of confidence and moving forward towards tournament time.
Then last Saturday at home, Massillon beat Perry 69-46. Your team trailed by 1 point at halftime, but came back strong in the second half. Can you tell us more about that exciting win?
Yeah, Perry game, another one that it's a tournament game type atmosphere where you're not tournament game atmosphere, but a tournament draw. We got that coming up here, and you want to beat a team locally that you're going to be going against possibly or getting seeded against in the next couple of weeks. And we weren't playing very well the first half. I challenged guys. People thought we made great adjustments at halftime. Really, it was just a mental adjustment of our attitudes and our effort. We talked a lot at halftime about that, challenged the guys to play better, harder, whatever, on the defensive end of the floor. And they came out, and it was just like a total different team. And so, really, again, we're figuring some things out, so it takes a while to kind of do that. But the things we were struggling with didn't have anything to do with X's and O's and ability. It was totally about attitude and effort. And so to see us come out and take a team that were down 1 and win by 23 or whatever, was definitely a fun thing to watch as a team. I think we proved ourselves that we can be a really good team. When we put our mind to it, and it just again it goes back to I think we had 4 guys in double figures, 2 guys with 8 points. Grant's like our 3rd or 4th leading scorer right now, and didn't have a point, but I would have never guessed that. He played a really good game. He was a floor general, and he's sliding into the 1, so it's changing some of his roles, which is our point guard. And so he's still shooting the ball, for us, and we need him to shoot the ball for us, but he's also getting the ball to people. And I told him the other day, I said his assist-to-turnover ratio is 4-1, which is really good. You're looking for a 2-to-1 ratio, and he's 4-to-1 right now. So taking care of the ball and getting the ball to guys that are scoring it, and that's being successful for us. So it was a good game. Anytime you beat a local team, a Federal League team, it's a good thing, and especially getting close to tournament time, those are ones that help us as we get in the seeding.
You're getting a lot of strong plays from your bench players. Can you tell us more about that?
Absolutely. We kind of talked about it with our balance. So Grant was our 6th man coming off the bench. I know we're going to talk about him in a little bit here, but he became he was kind of our 6th starter anyways. And then when Jaden left, we knew that he would slide in that spot and adjust off the bench. So we lost our top production kid off the bench with Grant moving in the starting lineup. So it's opened up opportunities for other guys. And Ardell Banks has been one who's really stepped up and had great games for us. Starting with the McKinley game, really gave us a boost when we needed one. And like a Cam Berge, another senior who's given us a spark off the bench. Jaden Wise has done a great job. Jay Crable's come on and filled that big guard role that we lost with Jaden. Ballard when he left, and played some really good minutes for us at Worcester, getting the ball to guys, attacking their pressure. He's a big guard, so he rebounds well. Kind of fills some of those roles that, like I said, Ballard kind of did for us. I'm trying to think of some of the other guys off the bench offhand. I think I said Jaden Wise has had some big games for us. He's hurt right now. Hopefully get him back soon. And just our bench guys, our whole energy on our bench has been different. Guys like Jackson Manweiler, Curtis Miller, Tanner Pierce, Nate Watkins, those guys are like engaged in the game. They're excited. They're having fun. Our JV team is right behind our bench. Has been, I felt like at the Worcester game, I felt like we almost had like a crowd there. With the empty gym this year, it's been different. But those guys are getting excited, and they were a big part of it. And I think the live stream at Worcester, they were complaining about our guys being too loud, and we love that. But it felt like we had a little bit of a student section there, and so it's been like we talk to guys all the time. Many hands make light work, and so everybody's kind of kicking in, doing their own thing, and I definitely think that contributes to the success we've experienced the last 6 games.
In a moment, we'll meet with another Tiger player, but first, this word from Reliable Heating and Cooling.
Everything that goes into a Lennox system is engineered for absolute comfort. Like the parts that create your perfect temperature and humidity, or the parts that purify the air. Together, all these parts save you up to half off your heating and cooling bills. And there are few things more comforting than that.
The future of home comfort is here now at Reliable Heating and Cooling. Get the latest innovation and technology at Reliable. Lennox. Innovation never felt so good.
Thanks to Reliable Heating and Cooling, and welcome back to the Josh Host Show. Our Tiger player this week is senior guard Grant Heyman. Welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me.
So Grant, what kind of personal goals did you set for yourself prior to the start of this season?
The only personal goal I would say that I set this year was just to be better than last year, because for myself, I don't really set personal goals, I set team goals. So other than just being better than last year, that's all I really had.
With limited opportunities due to the pandemic, what do you do in the off-season to make yourself better?
This off-season, it was different because of COVID, but Coach Hose actually set up a Google Classroom, and he was sending us workouts to do, like ball handling and body weight workouts, and I also have a hoop in my backyard, so I could still shoot every day, so nothing really changed for me. And then I think it was June 1st we could get back in the gym, so it was after that it was a normal summer for us. So
that's good. In what ways have you grown as a player, both skill-wise and with the mental side of the game?
Skill-wise, in the off-season, we really work on shooting the ball, catching and shooting. And just seeing the ball go through the net gives you a lot of confidence. So shooting the ball in the summer was both physical training and mental training. So that got us ready for the season. And then I feel like each year, as you get older, you feel more confident going into games. So just being more mentally prepared each year helped a lot.
Each year you played on varsity. Your role has changed a little bit. Currently, you're averaging 6 points and 3 rebounds a game. How do you describe your role on this year's team?
To start the year to now, it's changed a little bit. To start the year, I was more of a shooting guy, like catch the ball and shoot it, because we had a lot of drivers. But now, since I moved to the 1, it's more of get the ball to my teammates. And Lavarian Moore's been really hot lately, so I've been trying to get him the ball a lot. So just getting the ball to my teammates.
And finally, this team's record sits at 9-4. What are your expectations for this team and for the rest of the season?
I feel really good where we're at right now, and I feel really confident that we could win out. And I think seeding is after this weekend, so if we win both games this weekend, we should get a pretty high seed. So we should be pretty good going into the tournament.
Well, thank you for joining us, Grant. Coach Hose will join the show when we return after this timeout.
Hey, chat. Why do I wear a mask? Because when I'm not behind the screen, my mask is my cheat code. And when we stop the spread, we level up. What's the next level? Hanging with friends again. You're right, masks have always been a part of our community. I miss you guys too. Being face-to-face is truly the next level. Here's the cheat code. Stop the spread of corona. Mask up, America.
And welcome back to the Josh Host Show. So Coach, we just spoke with Grant Heyman. He's another player who's been on the varsity the past couple of seasons. Tell us a little bit more about Grant's game and his role on this year's team.
Well, Grant's been huge for us this year, and his sophomore year he got his first experience of that. I think we threw him into the McKinley game. We talked about that the other day. Actually, it's we didn't really give much mindset or time to prepare himself, kind of say, hey, you're playing varsity tonight. And he's always been a great shooter, and he takes care of the ball well for us. And but we needed him as a sophomore to kind of be a spark and just come in and get some shots up when guys were hurt, and be a guy who could put the ball in the hoop. We were struggling at that point. Last year, I felt like Grant got off to a little bit of a slower start. Had an ankle injury mid-year when he was just starting to hit his stride. But he came on strong for us at the end of the year and was a key contributor coming off the bench for us. Hit some big, I think he had about 5 buzzer beaters or something like that last year. It just had a knack for that big shot. And but yeah, he was definitely an outside threat for us when we had guys like Ballard and Stock and them driving, and he would find an open spot in the corner, and he had I think 4 threes against Warren in a big game that we needed him to step up. And so we saw those kind of those windows or those pockets of what's come the last 2 years. So this year, going into it, we were expecting him to step up and be kind of like more of a scorer for us, and he has been that. But like I said, the roles have changed, and with Jaden Ballard leaving mid-year, we moved Grant to the 1, our point guard for us, and so now he's still our shooter for us, but he's also a distributor for us, and he's getting the ball to guys and making the right plays, and just seeing a lot of growth out of him that way. Now, actually, one of the things I'm most proud of him of is like his work on the defensive end. It's always been a thing that he's really worked hard at, because it's just not. He didn't have the natural quickness that other guys have, and we knew that, and it's not a knock on Grant. He knows that, but he's worked really hard at that end of the court to really focus on improving that area, and he's become a really strong defender for us. As the season's moved on, and as a senior, 3-year varsity guy, his leadership's been outstanding. He just, in practice every day, he's always the guy that I can go to. Him and Luke Sabo kind of take the bull by the horns and get things going. Vari's stepping up, being a leader. So it's just fun to see those guys taking ownership of the team. And I think, again, it goes back to the success we're having is because of our senior guys. And they're really taking ownership of this team. And that's, when special things start happening is when the players are leading.
I see you have a couple more games coming up this weekend. It starts with a road game Friday night at Ashland. This is the second meeting at this year with Ashland. You lost your home opener to them back on December 11th. What do you remember about that first meeting, and how does it impact your preparation for this week's game?
Well, first off, it seems like it's forever ago, and the way this year has gone, that was a game we added, I think, on Thursday afternoon, and we played on Friday afternoon. So that was the beginning of the year. We'd lost some games we needed to schedule. We'd actually scheduled them the week before and got canceled, so picked them back up the following week. And we've played them twice 2 years ago. We played them twice in the same season. So kind of like a league thing, like when you play the team twice. So you hopefully learn from the first game. But going back to your question, I mean, the first game of the year, we kind of threw a scout together. They're not a hard team to prep for X and O wise. They do what they do. They push the ball. They shoot the ball well. They don't overwhelm you with like a bunch of set plays and different defenses. They're just really good at what they do. And so they're a tough team to prep for in that way, because they have a really good guard, Luke Dembo, one of the best players in the state, and he's a junior. Just a really good scorer, crafty scorer. He can shoot it, he can get to the hoop. So he's going to be a challenge for us. We got to do a better job on him. But I look at that game as coming off of 2 days of practice out after a 6-day quarantine, and a bunch of guys that were playing football. We had all these things going against us. We had an 8-point lead at one point in the fourth quarter in that game, and so that to me was that point where I saw like, okay, this team could be pretty good when we figure everything out. We ran out of gas, ended up losing by 3 or 4 in that game. But definitely, quality opponent. I know that Worcester beat them earlier in the year, and that was a tough fought game. So hopefully, Tuesday, when we beat Worcester was kind of a growth mindset or a measuring stick for us to see where we were at with those two teams. So it's going to take a good effort for us up there at their place. It's tough to beat them up there, and you're on the road. But we only have one home game left, so we're going to have to be really good on the road the rest of the way. And our guys are ready to go. I think they know what we're going up to, up there to do, and what type of team we're facing.
Then on Saturday night, your team will be on the road again to face Ridgewood. How about a scouting report on the Generals? Okay, so a scouting report for the Generals. They were 19-0 last year. We beat them here at home. Give them their first loss, and then I think they ended up going to a district. I think they went to a district and ended up going to a regional final or semifinal. But they graduated some guys off that team. Having said that, they're 11-3, I think, moving into this weekend, and so they're doing some things really well still.
they're kind of a mystery team because they're down south in West Lafayette, and been down there to scout before, but never to play. So, I mean, we're going to get on them. Coach Combs is putting a scouting report together for them. Our focus right now is totally to Ashland. Usually we play a Friday, Saturday game. Our focus will go on the Friday team. And we'll have one of the coaches focused on Saturday, but our focus with the kids will be to get ready for Ashland on Friday. But, so I don't have a ton of knowledge or info right now on Ridgewood. We're gathering some stuff. But they're going to be a tough team to beat on the road again. You go to these small towns and you play a team on the road that you beat last year, knocked off their undefeated team. They're going to be fired up. And they called us for a game 2 years ago and scheduled 2 games with us. So I think they knew that they were going to be pretty good. They don't usually call you if they're not going to be talented. So our guys will be ready to go. And like I said, we're going to be road warriors the rest of the way. So these are good games for us to prepare for the rest of the season.
You're a little over halfway through the regular season now. How do you feel about this group at this point?
I love this group, and it's been a fun group to see. Our motto this year, our theme has been Raise Up, R-A-Z-E. I know we spelled it wrong on purpose, but it stands for Rise Above Zero Excuses, because we knew this was going to be a year full of adversity, full of excuses, an opportunity to make excuses. And so we said, you know what, we knew we were losing Jaden halfway through the season. We knew COVID was going to be an issue. We knew we were going to have fans in the stands. We knew games were going to get canceled. So we know all this stuff. So it's like, okay, there's no reason to have excuses when you know it's going to happen. So we got to just raise up. We got to, be above that. And I've seen these kids do it, and they've embodied it, and been through so much in a short amount of time. Just to deal with all that and keep moving forward and be where they're at and having the success they're having is a total tribute to the senior class of kids. So we have a big senior class that's talented, but they're great kids. They're great leaders, and they come ready to practice, mostly every day. Some days we don't have great practices, and we're working on that. But they know when they don't have a great day, and they own it and move on, and we come back the next day better. And to be where they're at, it's been a fun process to coach. It's a fun group to coach, and like I said, to see them go through the things and grow through those things, not just get through them. They've gotten better through all that, and it's really going to be a fun group to see how they finish the season here, because they're playing like a total team right now, and those are fun teams to coach when you got a lot of guys contributing and having fun and feeding off each other's successes.
Well, thanks, Coach.
Sure.
As we wrap up another edition of the Josh Host Show, we want to thank Reliable Heating and Cooling for being our season-long sponsor. Thanks to Coach Hose and Senior Grant Hanem for joining us this week on the show. I'm your host, Maya Woods. Thanks for watching, and as always, go Tigers.
Massillon City Schools is proud to have one of the top career technical education programs in the state of Ohio, recently receiving a #1 ranking of the 93 districts in the area of achievement. Our Career Technical Education Department offers 14 pathways preparing students for college and careers. All students have the opportunity to participate and compete in their career technical student organization, as well as obtain valuable experience in the field while earning aligned industry credentials and/or college credit in high school. Visit massillonschools.org for more information.